wrong button. When I went to switch around the camera, it cut it off, and I'm sorry for that. But tonight is our regular Saturday night live stream, and I am out traveling again. And behind me is Pepsi. Say hi. I don't think he wants to. I think he's too tired. So here he is. Hi, everybody. Okay. Well, I'm going to start off the live stream tonight by talking about a subject that was brought up from Lola. And she asked the question, how to choose a legitimate service dog agency. Hey, Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man the Hero, is in. And Tanya Lambert's in. So hi, Tanya. Hi, Peter. So I thought I would start out by talking just briefly about how to choose a legitimate service dog agency. So if you're looking to get a service dog that's already trained, that's the way to go. So there's all kinds of great organizations out there. The process to all of them is pretty straightforward. It's pretty much the same, and I did a video on that. So I will, after this stream, link that down in the description box so you'll know more about what the process is. But when you are choosing a service dog agency, there's a few things to keep in mind. Most of the agencies are nonprofit, but not all of them. Just because they are for-profit doesn't mean that they're not legitimate. And I want to invite you, if you have not subscribed yet, to please go ahead and do so, and do give me a like on the video, please. So I am here, and I've got Pepsi back here in the back seat, who is not looking my way. And that is par for the course for a traveling service dog sometimes. So, okay, some of the things to look for when selecting a service dog agency is, does it have a good track record, or is it brand new? The way you find that out is to talk to other service dog handlers, service dog owners, but they're called handlers. So look for reviews online. Tanya Lambert is saying reviews. She also has a service dog. We got ours from the same agency, so yay. So check the reviews online. Talk to other service dog handlers. Don't be afraid to do that. Don't talk to the dog. If you approach a handler out in public, don't talk to the dog. Please talk to the handler, because you don't want to distract the dog, because that just leads to all kinds of problems. And we can talk about that on another video. Also, if it's a nonprofit agency, nonprofits every year have to file IRS paperwork, and a lot of people don't know that. But the IRS paperwork, it is called a 990 and some variation, like it might be a 990 EZ, or it might be an N990 postcard, but which is kind of the 990 easy kind of thing. But you can go to irs.gov, to that website. Hey, JM Playlist is here, and we've also got Paducah and Louisville Railroad. Say hi to both of you. So you can go to the irs.gov website, and you can check for the 990 of any nonprofit organization. So if you're looking to get a service dog from an agency, if you want AKA a certified service dog, which I'll elaborate on that in just a minute, then if you're not sure if they're legitimate, you can go to that website and pull that 990, and that will tell you all about the agency. It will tell you what their budget is, all the information that the IRS needs, the information on who the director is, all kinds of stuff. There's also an organization, it's called guidestar.org, GUIDESTAR.org. And you can also pull the 990 information from GuideStar, and that will give you multiple years of filings. So, you can look there, which that'll tell you if a service dog organization is legitimate. So check the IRS website, ask other handlers, check the reviews. Also talk to your veterinarian, because your veterinarian is going to be a great source of information. Now, you're probably thinking, how am I going to talk to a veterinarian if I don't have a dog yet? Perfectly fine question. You can call the vet's office and tell them that you are thinking about getting a service dog and you want to just talk to them for a few minutes before you commit to an organization, and you want to find out from them. And that'll do two things. It'll tell you if you're going to like the vet or not, and it will tell you, give you some information from the vet on experiences that she or he has had with trained service dogs. Now, I want to talk for just a second about certification, because the law doesn't recognize, federal law doesn't recognize any kind of certification. Hey, busy lady, and welcome. So the idea that you're getting a certified service dog, the ADA doesn't look at that. So you don't have to have a, quote, certification. You just need to have your dog trained, whether you do it yourself or whether you go through an agency. Now, I have done both. My first service dog was a owner-trained service dog. We did work with trainers. We worked with two trainers, husband and wife team, and then they had somebody that helped them once in a while. And so I've done both. My second dog, the one you saw pop up in the back seat back here, who's now back asleep, he was trained by the agency. Good night, Peter. Thank you for coming in. So of the two, they've got their advantages and disadvantages. But that's a little bit about how to, select a legitimate service dog agency. Now, if you're a veteran, talk to the VA, because there are organizations out there that exist specifically to provide service dogs to veterans, and the VA is your best source of information for those. And the positive is, there's a lot of fees sometimes associated with different agencies, but a lot of agencies that provide service dogs to veterans don't have a charge. So talk to the VA about that. So I know that Tanya, you're in here, and I know you have a service dog. If you have any other suggestions on how to choose an organization, can you just type them into the chat there? And I'm going to look at the chat because we've had a couple of people come in. Tanya says, for America, now other countries may be different as far as certification. Yes. And if you're going to be going out of the country, that's something to be aware of. Also, if you're going to be getting your dog trained in another country and so forth, anytime you're crossing a border, double check that. Absolutely. And okay, Tanya is making a good point. She said, be aware that a service dog is definitely different from an emotional support animal. Be sure of what you need. Absolutely. Because if you're getting a service dog from an agency, you will need to have your doctor write a letter to demonstrate medical need, that you need the service dog. And emotional support animals often don't have any kind of training or any kind of paperwork other than just a letter from a doctor or a therapist, and that's it for an ESA. Totally different. Training is not there. Service dogs have to be task trained to assist a person that has a disability. So, good point to bring up, Tanya. Okay, Lori's making bagels, and dough's being made right now. That is cool. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to start off with that, since Lola had asked about specifically how to choose a service dog agency. So it's Saturday night. I am in New Mexico again, on the road, and everybody, my husband got to meet our grandbaby for the first time today, so yay! And He thinks she's as gorgeous as I do. So that was a good thing that brought us back out to New Mexico. And I'm so glad to be out on the road again. It's been 3.5 weeks since I've been here. So I know that's not a long time, but I like being out on the road. And last time I was in my van, which I really like my van. I really like traveling in my van. But this time with hubby with me, we are out in our trailer, which is nice. And yeah, so he's actually having to come out back to the car for some reason.
Hi.
Hi.
You, tell you what, you carry on.
Okay.
Never know.
I thought I would. Where are you? Oh, you're gonna move. We got groceries a little while ago, so we pulled up. So he's gonna get the groceries out of the car. So yay! And then he's gonna cook dinner while I talk to you all. So I don't have to worry about that.
The things I do.
Oh, I saw a little head with 2 ears pop up in the back seat. So yay! All right. So I do have to say, I want to give a kind of a little shout out here. If y'all are traveling in New Mexico and you need a KOA, we stopped at a nice little KOA Journey in the not very big town of Tucumcari, New Mexico. I love saying that word. Tucumcari, Tucumcari, Tucumcari. I love saying that. But the KOA that we stopped at, it's a KOA Journey, which is smaller oftentimes than a regular KOA, and they may not have like the big swimming pool and stuff like that. But this one was very nice. Grounds were fabulous, but this is the first KOA I've ever been to or ever heard of that brought you breakfast to your campsite. And we did pay extra. I think it was like $8 to have it delivered, and it was scrambled eggs, bacon or sausage. You got to choose, or you could do mixed, and pancakes and milk or orange juice and coffee. And there was no charge for the coffee. So we're like, bring the caffeine. But it was great. And if you all are ever traveling, you know, van or trailer, and you go to Tucumcari, that is the place to stay. I'm just saying. So, what do you think, Pepsi? You think it's a great place to stay? Yeah. So, oh, I missed some of the comments aren't showing up. Yeah, be careful driving. Absolutely. Oh, Candy, the wee service dog is here. Hi, Candy. Just for a few minutes. Candy says hello. Hope everyone has a great rest of the weekend. Praying for all those affected by Hurricane Ian. Take care. Thank you for coming in. Oh, Women's Station Channel says she didn't get the name. It's KOA Journey in Tucumcari, Tucumcari. And was Paducah Railroad just in here? Because Tucumcari's got a neat little railroad museum. Lots of good information there. So I enjoyed it. Oh, and y'all are going to be so proud of me. Guess what I did? I can't believe I did this. While traveling, of course we're traveling. While traveling, we stopped at a rest area. And y'all, this is in Santa Rosa, New Mexico. And this is the first rest area that I have ever been to that had a food truck. So I wasn't really sure if the food truck was legitimate or not. You're welcome, Women's Station Channel. You are very welcome. So, okay, y'all. I wasn't really sure if the food truck was like a legitimate food truck or if it just was squatting there at the rest area. But they had like tables set up with all these condiments and chips and things like that they were selling, and water and whatnot. And of course they had all the food truck stuff. And oh my gosh, I got a burrito from there. That was like the best burrito. And I've never in my life heard of a food truck being at a rest area. But the rest area, I'm going to put a couple of photos up on Instagram later. But the rest area, the shelters, the picnic tables were under like these shelters to protect it from the wind. And yeah, I think you're right, Busy Lady. Busy is saying that food trucks have the best food. I think you're right, at least in this circumstance, because it was great. And of course, it was hot because they made it right there in the food truck. But I was like, okay, this is different, because like I never saw a food truck at the rest area. But when we walked over there, I saw on the food truck taped to the inside of the sliding window, they had their health department score and all of that information. So that that made me feel more confident. It was a really neat rest area because there was like a nice grassy field for kids to run in. Hubby and I talked about opening a taco truck. Hey, if you do that and I am ever in your area, I am so buying tacos from you. I'm interested in the jerky too if you all do that. So, yeah, because that would be great. Jerky would be really, really good to have on the road. And of course, hunting and lots of things about beef jerky. But yeah. And maybe I just gave you an idea about sitting at a rest area. But this guy, he said he had permission. And so it was just nice because, we'd been out traveling and there was this large grassy area that the dog could play in. But now, when I say grassy, let me quantify that a little bit because we're out in the desert southwest, so there's grass, but it tends to be like little short kind of scrub grass, and it's really stiff. Like, it's not like the soft green lush carpet of grass that we have on the lawn at home. Okay, good night, Candy. Thank you for coming in. It's more of a kind of a stiff kind of, I don't even know what to call it. There's but anyway, you get the idea, and I'll post a photo of that. I'll go take a photo and post that on Instagram in a couple of days. But he was out there and got to play a little bit. There was a dump area, so we could dump our tank right there close to the picnic area because we're in the travel trailer, so I have the larger tank to dump. And yeah, it was really nice. So we got to play for a while, we got to have our picnic, we got to have hot food that I didn't have to cook, and it was like $10 for this like large burrito. I mean, you guys, when you see it, you'll be amazed. I mean, it's like, it was big. It was big. And of course, burritos, I think that's like the big thing out here, like maybe all four major food groups rolled into one, because that's a big thing about what you get. And like in Socorro, there was this little drive-through portion of a restaurant. It's actually like two restaurants. It's called Sophia's for the dining in part, and then it's called Burrito Time for the drive-through. And they have like the best burritos, and they're cheap. Cheap. You're paying like $5. So it's literally half the price, but it's the same size as what we just had. And all the students go there. That's how we found it the first time because, students know where the cheap food is. So yeah. So it's nice, because part of what you want when you travel is something different than what you have at home, I think. What do you all think? Is that like one of your favorite aspects when you travel? Because it is mine. Except for this guy, he gets the same thing no matter where we are. Don't you? Aw, he's tired. We've been out walking today, and we've been to the restaurant, and we've been to Walmart, and now we're back to where we're staying. So yeah. And I got to stay at like one of my favorite Harvest Host locations. And if you do any kind of traveling in a van or an RV, you need to look at Harvest Host because there is a whole network. You have to have a membership, but there's this whole network of places that you can stay, and they ask for a $20 donation, or that you spend $20 with them, depending on how they're set up. And so when I'm coming across New Mexico on I-40, there is a space center in Weatherford, Texas, and they have got these ginormous, the big like military aircraft that we have. There's like one it's an older aircraft, and then they've got like one of the newer fighter jets and all kinds of stuff inside. It's Stafford Air and Space Center. And so as long as you're self-contained, you can spend the night there. And it is like so cool, because in the morning you're waking up and the first thing you see is this giant fighter jet, It's like, it is so cool. And Stafford Air and Space, Stafford was an astronaut. So I just think that's neat. So anyway, Weatherford, Oklahoma. And the Harvest Host membership is like $79. So it's not bad at all. And it gives you, like safe places to spend the night on the road. And like last fall, one of the places we went to was an apple orchard. So I had a lot of problems only spending $20 there, and I kind of like went right past that mark. And, we were getting apples at the apple orchard, and they had everything apple. So fried apple pies, applesauce, apple jelly. I mean, so yeah, that was an expensive stop, and it shouldn't have been. So anyway, so that's where I am and what I'm doing, and we're out, like I said, we're in the travel trailer. So yeah. Oh, Busy Lady says she's making an apple pie tonight. Good for you. I'm actually going to make apple dumplings tonight. I'm cooking for like the group. So apple dumplings, that's the dessert. Oh, just hey, look, the canned kind, there's some like really good brands out there. So you go for it, girl. We're going to make it because of there being an apple orchard out here where we got too many apples. We're going to be making the apple dumplings, so yeah. But I'm not doing the kind where you have to like roll out your own dough, because I'm too lazy for that. So I'm just using the biscuits and like putting the apple slice in the biscuit dough and folding it in half, and then putting the sauce on it and throwing it in the oven. I'm not doing complicated. So, in our dinner, if you guys saw the video I did on the chicken lettuce wraps, that's what I'm doing for dinner, except I'm just going to serve it with rice instead of doing the lettuce wraps. So, I couldn't find the lettuce here. It's really hard to find some good vegetables here. And you would think that New Mexico would have like everything, but the Walmart is not stocked well. And last time I was here, it was just like I couldn't even find squash. It was that bad, literally. So kind of crazy. But that's what I'm going to do tonight for supper for everybody. And then the dumplings. So. And a salad. Of course, you have to have a salad. Except not you. You don't get to eat salad. Right? Yeah. He eats everything else, though. Sticks, tennis balls. It doesn't matter. Sometimes he actually eats his food. But I swear, I think he would go on a diet of tennis balls. Yeah. He's back here. I think he's trying to sleep. Are you trying to sleep? He doesn't know what he's doing. Oops. Smart, less, not harder. Yep, the whole smarter but harder thing. But yeah, smarter, not harder thing. Absolutely is the way to go. Yeah, and they're good. They're not going to care. So yeah, I like easy. But I have to use a real skillet tonight. Now the ones I did in the van, I just used my little mini griddle. That is like perfect for me when I'm out driving. I actually have several little short videos that I'm going to do on that. Because of course you can do bacon and eggs and all kinds of stuff in that. So, I wasn't really expecting that video to be popular at all, but I've gotten like a couple of different emails on it. So yeah, I think people want like easy stuff to do these days. And that little griddle, oh my gosh, like you can take it with you if you want to go to a hotel room. Or of course I do it in solar on the van. But I've also been wishing that I had it in the trailer, especially for like pancakes, because you're only doing one at a time, but you're cooking both sides at one time. So it can be doing its thing while you're doing something else. So yeah, I really, and you look at it, and I mean, the whole thing is like, yeah, I mean, it's a mini griddle. It's like that big around. Have you all seen them like at Walmart and stuff? If not, then check the stores close to Christmas because they'll have them. I mean, you can get it off of Amazon for like around $15 to $17, depending on, like the color and the brand, because there's a couple of different brands. But if you wait till closer to Christmas, they'll be less than that. So, because I've seen them at $10, and they're just kind of really convenient to have. So, anyway, it's kind of neat to have that just for me. So yeah, Busy, are you going to take a picture of your pie when you get it done and post it? Because you should. You really, really should. You take a picture of that, and I'll take a picture of the dumplings. And Lori Jean, you got to do your bagels too. Yeah, I actually have not made bagels like the real way. I've done like the 2-ingredient bagels, but not like the real ones. And the 2-ingredient ones are good, but nothing beats like a real homemade bagel, especially like, oh my gosh, if you've got a New York bagel, those are wonderful. I don't want to say I've died and gone to heaven when I have a New York bagel, but it's really, really good. So, yeah. What do you think back there? You didn't know what to think. And I'm sorry, you all, tonight for having 2 different links pop up. I started the first one, and I realized that my camera was facing the other way and not this way. So I went to turn it around, and somehow or other, I obviously I hit the wrong button. It was my fault tonight. And so all of a sudden it says your stream is ended, and I'm like, what? So little crazy there. So I wanted to apologize for doing that. I'm so sorry. And I am going to keep this a little short tonight just because of having to cook dinner. Because while it is 7:30 for the rest of the world, it's 5:30 here. And so it's like prime dinner time. So I'm trying to keep, I know I'm out here, but I'm trying to keep my daughter and her husband on their regular schedule as much as possible, because it's just easier with the routine with the baby. And y'all who have had kids, I know you know exactly what I mean. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I am, and kind of what's going on tonight and all that stuff. So anyhow, I think I think I'm going to go ahead and go. And I want to thank you all for hanging out. And if you've not given me a thumbs up, please go ahead and do so, because that really helps me out. Like any YouTuber, when you see us go, please give us a thumbs up. Please do, because the algorithms look at how much interaction and so forth that you have. So, and then that makes a difference on how often they show your video up as a potential with the thumbnails and stuff. So it doesn't just help me, but it's standard across whatever YouTube channel that you watch. So, and of course, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and join us. Because, you know, this channel, we're all about the hashtag Be Bodacious, which means you're not going to let life get in the way of living. And I try to do that, and I know that the folks here who are regular on this channel do that too. So it's kind of a big deal. So anyway, I'm going to go cook their dinner, and thank you all for hanging out. And I'm serious when I say I want to see those pictures on the apple pie and the bagels, y'all, okay? All right. Well, you all have a good night, and I will see you Saturday. I may try to pop on, you know, at a different time later this week. I just don't know with the traveling, but I'm going to try to, all right? So y'all take care. Have a great week. And if you have not supported an agency yet that's helping out in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and so forth, please think about doing so. Those people who were affected by Hurricane Ian really need the help. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.